Well, thank you, See Change Sessions, and thank you, panelists, for this opportunity to present clean ocean designs today. We will be taking a look at the materials used to create the products needed to go surfing. So many of the big players in this industry are currently bound by dated linear supply chains. And at Clean Ocean Designs, we're imagining a future where the products we use support the regeneration of our ocean environment. My name is Oliver Parker. I like to think of myself as a creative problem solver, surfer, chef, and designer. I've recently shifted my focus career-wise towards this new venture, which I'm very passionate about. Lawrence Dillon is our talented industrial designer with a deep understanding of manufacturing and helps us find ways to do more with less. Billy Smith is a longtime collaborator, friend of mine. He's a materials expert who has worked at Apple and Patagonia. He spearheaded the Ulex wetsuit line. He now runs Bilia, which is a soft goods consultancy based in Berkeley, California. 8 million metric tons. This is the amount of plastic entering the ocean each year. There's so many staggering figures around this plastic pandemic that our oceans are facing. I just wanted to highlight this one and offer solutions to bring these materials back into the economy, creating value in ocean plastics and other biomaterials within the surf industry. There's no silver bullet for this problem, but investments in creative solutions are beginning to move us in the right direction. The majority of products designed for surfers are currently made with some sort of virgin petroleum material. Recycling technology has now advanced to a place where we now have more sustainable options when it comes to the products that we're making. Utilizing ocean plastics, abandoned fishing nets, and biomaterials such as algae, we are shifting and striving to become the new standard in this industry. Surfing is a growing sport. The surfers are taking action to protect the ocean, and as awareness grows of this problem. There are currently between 25 and 30 million surfers around the world. Surfing was recently included in the Olympic Games, and more than 100 wave pools are under construction as we speak. There are many new ways to surf, such as foil boarding, kite surfing, and stand-up paddling. This is a $3 billion industry, and it's growing at 6% each year. New material technology has begun to find its way into surfboards and wetsuit productions, with advancements in neoprene alternatives, recyclable and bio-based materials used to build surfboards. Unfortunately, there's so much more stuff we end up buying to get us in the water. Board bags, leashes, deck tractions, to name a few. This is the area where Clean Ocean Designs is focusing our efforts. Okay, well, now we're getting into the exciting stuff. These are some of the products we've designed. This is the Mariner mat. Its main function is to extend the life of a surfer's wetsuit. Our research found that getting in and out of your suit in parking lots and at the beach was the point that wetsuits received the most wear. The Mariner mat is made with Bloom biofoam. It's antibacterial and it's very durable. Here are a few more pictures of it. Designed with wavy ridges sandwiching holes for water to flow through, the Mariner mat elevates the surfer from the ground below. People love this product because it's cushy under your feet and easy to keep clean. These are our Reflex Fins. This is our recycled fishing net fin concept. We have designed these fins with a thicker foil to increase control and maneuverability. They are injection molded, minimizing the material production waste, which can be up to 40% with standard fiberglass fins. SurfNet board covers. Utilizing technical knitting machines, these covers are knit to shape with no seams and no production waste. They're made using yarns produced from recycled ocean-bound plastics. We have them designed in 12 sizes to fit every surfboard, protecting it from UV and wear. We have developed and tested all three of these products and are currently preparing to launch the Mariner mat on our e-commerce website. The Reflex Fins and SurfNet board covers are ready to go as soon as we procure the raw materials to build them. We have several other products in development that we are excited about and looking forward to adding them to our line in the coming years. Clean Ocean Designs has the potential to have a substantial impact within our industry. Our plan is to grow organically with the support of friends and investors. We have a clear format of how we want to do business, which includes spending money on purchasing the right materials and giving back to ocean conservation efforts. Thank you all once again for this opportunity to share the vision at Clean Ocean Designs today. This has been a really inspiring summit, and I've been enjoying all the content so far and plan on getting the rest of today in after this session.
Cool. I'll just kick us off. So it sounds like you're building out here a consumer-facing brand. Really love what you're doing. I'm wondering if you could speak specifically to some of the challenges of procuring the raw materials. I know there's a number of groups working with recycled fishing nets, especially out on the West Coast. But what has that process been like for you guys?
Yeah, it has been difficult, mostly because in the prototyping phase, it's hard to work with the materials because you need to buy so much of it most of the suppliers want you to buy them in hundreds of tons at a time. So I've actually found a really great resource called Ocean Works, and that's kind of a platform where you could go in and find materials and purchase samples. So I've been using a lot of their materials. But yeah, it's been challenging. Each product has its challenges, but we've been kind of pushing forward and finding ways to make it happen. And there's also been a lot of support with the Mariner mat. Bloom Foam actually really loved the idea, and they just wanted to see it happen. So they were supportive from the materials, and they wanted to help out. So that was great.
Great. I'll kick it over to Olivia. Do you have any questions for Oliver?
Yeah, I'm curious. Are you kind of doing your own material innovation? Or are you guys using off-the-shelf bioplastics and upcycled and recycled plastics? Curious if you're actually trying to.
We aren't really doing any innovation. We're kind of using off-the-shelf materials that are available. When there are specifications for the materials, like a yarn could be produced in so many different ways. So we're definitely testing different qualities of yarn, and the Mariner mat, which is made out of this biofoam. There's so many different densities. So we're definitely testing the products that are available. It is kind of a small operation at this point, so we haven't had the opportunity to kind of set aside some time and an area to explore new materials.
Go ahead, Kim.
I'd love to hear if you've thought kind of about the end of life for these products. They're absolutely beautiful, and I'm sure the customers that you're targeting don't need all that much education compared to many other segments. But what are you thinking in terms of end of life for each of these products?
Definitely. Our plan is to own the recyclable aspect and the recycling portion. The plan is to have kind of a buyback program where we'll give a discount to future products that our customers want to buy. I'll give you a little example. So we have kind of minimal packaging on our board bag, and on the back here we have a QR code, and so you basically scan the QR code and it brings you to our website and tells you how to get it back to us, and then we could recycle that through our material supplier.
Great. And are you
That's great. I'm glad that even at this.
Go ahead, Kim. Sorry.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, I'm glad that you're thinking about it at this early stage, so it just becomes incorporated into your supply chain and your reach there. Sorry.
Yeah,
Cassidy,
that's kind of an example of how, I think starting from scratch as a business, you can really kind build in a lot of that kind of stuff. So, just it's the kind of the company that I wish all the other companies were more like. I just feel like you go into a surf shop now or wherever you're getting your gear, and it's just filled with this stuff. And I know that it's none of it is really supporting the circular economy or the oceans.
Great. Are you primarily focused on D2C, or are your products in any retail locations currently?
Right now, we are not in any retail locations currently. I have kind of a short list of the shops that I'm planning on being in soon. We're hoping to get into the Patagonia shops that have a surf line, and then a couple shops on the West Coast. My first job was at the Beach House in Santa Barbara, and so we'll probably get them in there just for old time's sake. And there's also a list of shops that the Surfrider Foundation has put together, and I'm working with the Surfrider Foundation to kind of pinpoint shops that are kind of the best in the country.
I might sneak in a follow-up, but are you open to branding partnerships?
Potentially, yeah. Actually, there's another e-commerce site and kind of a movement called Kind Humans. You may have heard of them. They're interested in the mat, and I would potentially do what they would do is they'd pinpoint a charity, and we would sell the mat through their website and potentially have their branding on it as well, focused, and then the profits would go to a charity.
What are some of the key milestones you're hoping to hit in, call it, the next 6 to 12 months using this capital raise?
I think just gaining traction and visibility in the industry. The mat, which I'm really excited about, it's the first of its kind. I have a patent on it. I think people are really receiving it well, and I think it's gonna draw a lot of attention to the company and to what we're trying to do. Kim, just a follow-up or just another thing when you asked about private label, it has been difficult because our margins at times aren't so large. And that's also another reason that we're wanting to sell these direct to consumer, because it's a higher quality product. The materials aren't inexpensive. So, it makes it difficult to have that margin to sell it at a wholesale cost.
Makes sense. And do you see some relief there as you kind of expand operations and reach a certain tipping point in terms of your scale and your manufacturability?
Definitely. I would love to get to the point where I could have a machine that knits these board covers, and then that would help with that.
Very neat.
Great, Olivia. Any other questions on your end?
Yeah, just curious about the team, and as you think about the team, where are there gaps, and specifically, how do you think about bringing on more diversity, both racial and gender diversity, onto your team as you build it out over the next few years?
Yeah, 100%. Well, our expertise kind of lies in the design and the surf world. But the business is definitely, the team is definitely not complete. And of course, as we start to build the team out, gender and diversity is 100% on our radar. And I think that's definitely where we're going to be moving towards.
Great. We have one question from the audience here. What avenues are you taking to reach your target audience, and how are you raising awareness of your brand?
Well, it's at this point, it's kind of simple. We're getting into the SEO and Google ads and Facebook ads, and kind of really trying to reach out through social media. We are product focused at this point. I think that as we grow, it's going to be more clear kind of what our impact is on the industry and on with the materials we're using. But I think it's, at this point, it's mostly just we're not doing any ads outside of the web. So.
Right. And you're pitching at the Startup Classic, of course.
Yeah, this has been great. Such an awesome opportunity.
Awesome. Well, any final questions here, Kim or Olivia?
Sounds like you're starting on the West Coast. What's your expansion plan in terms of geography? Are you keeping it in the US, or do you have other opportunities elsewhere in the world?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I actually recently moved to Rhode Island, so I'm kind of going to be this is going to be the East Coast hub, and then I have friends and part of our team over on the West Coast. So we're definitely bi-coastal at this point. I would say a natural growth would be into the European market, and then also in Japan and anywhere else that would want to take us on.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time, Oliver. I look forward to following up with you about this. And thank you, Kim and Olivia, for joining us today, and everyone who pitched at the Startup Classic. This has been really fun, and I hope we can continue this at See Change sessions in the years to come.